October 2nd, 2017. Welcome to the Philly podcast. Now, my apologies. Last week there was only two done last week. I didn't do my picks. I didn't do my I was behind. I didn't do my podcast for Thursday and Friday. My apologies. And Wednesday, um, just stuff came up, homework. I was battling a cold. Still am battling. Still am. Still is battling. Yeah, whatever. I can't talk. But I'm still battling a cold, which was a problem last week. So I didn't get a lot of stuff in. Um, but my apologies. Um, so yeah, sorry. Um, but the Eagles are now 3-1. We have a the Eagles are doing pretty good. We ended a baseball season, and plus on Friday, they announced that Pete McCannon will take a new role in the club for next year. He will be an assistant to the GM or something like that. So, so some stuff happened. Some big stuff happened as well. We are moving forward in the preseason of the hockey and the basketball seasons. We begin a Flyers season on Wednesday night. That is a late 10:30 game. I don't think anybody's going to be watching that game. I'm not going to be watching that game for sure. I might catch the first 5 minutes. I don't know, but I'm not. I mean, it's a Wednesday night, it's a school night, and the Flyers are playing away. So that's a tough game to pay to watch. I mean, maybe for the Eagles, I'd probably watch it, but maybe if they put the Eagles on that Monday night, late Monday night game, that'd just be stupid. But anyway, you shouldn't do that to an East Coast team. You should. So that begins. So that begins Wednesday, and then the Sixers season I think begins in a week or two. I'm not quite sure. But let's first get into it. Today is Victory Monday, V.3, or the third Victory Monday of the season. It's very nice to have the third Victory Monday of the season in the first 4 weeks. To have 3 Victory Mondays in the first 4 weeks, having 3 wins in 4 weeks. That's a quarter of the NFL season. The Eagles are now 3-1. They have won that quarter. They've beaten out all the teams in the NFC East in that quarter. You look to yesterday's game. I mean, I think the Eagles were dominant. The Eagles were dominant up to the point where they let Rivers throw the ball to Tyrell Williams, who was wide open. Well, I mean, he wasn't wide open, but, he was open for that 75-yard touchdown. And that's where you miss Fletcher Cox. I mean, they did not, I don't think the Eagles played an awful game on defense, but it could have been better. Obviously. I mean, the thing is with Phillip Rivers and with quarterbacks like Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning and, some of these other guys, Breeze, if you don't put pressure on them, they will pick you apart. If you put pressure on them, you will force them to make mistakes. Sorry, I'm losing it. I got a cold. Sorry. But you'll force them to make mistakes. And that's the one thing. The Eagles' pass rush was, you could tell it was missing Fletcher Cox. They did not get much pressure on Phillip Rivers. If they got more pressure on Phillip Rivers, they would have a pick. They would have had a fumble. They would have done more. More would have happened. But it didn't. But, hey, at least the Eagles came out with a win. What the hell? Oh my god, I don't know why Cartoon Network's on here. Anyway, so that's the one thing I want to point out from the defense, and also covering the screen and the cross route, which has been a problem the last couple weeks, and has kept these two teams, the Giants and the Chargers, in the games. Um, that's the one. They have to figure out a way to protect the slant and protect the crossing route. Because I know they got beat on it with Keenan Allen, and last week they got beaten on it with Beckham and Shepard. So they're gonna have to figure out ways to cover that. Chargers come in on Sunday. Um, the Eagles, and then after Sunday, that's a short week because they will go to Carolina on next Thursday night, and then they have an extended week after the Carolina game as they will play the Redskins on the Monday. So it's back-to-back primetime football games for the Eagles. We got a little bit of a break from watching these games on Fox. Offense, the Eagles, the running game is just great. The running game is just great. I have no clue. You look back at the Chiefs game, and you definitely look back at the Redskins game, saying, why the hell were they not running the football? Why? I know we won the Redskins game, but we could have beat the Chiefs. We could have beat the Chiefs, who is probably one of the Chiefs are the best team in the league right now. They are. They're the only three, and they're the only undefeated team left. They'll probably beat the Redskins tonight. By the way, I my pick for that game. They're going to probably beat the Redskins tonight. They just look so dominant in these first 3 weeks of the NFL season. But I wouldn't say so dominant. If you would say so dominant, but we'll see. But they've been the best team in the league. They're a 3-0 football team. They're going to play Washington tonight at home. That's just a matchup that favors them. So yeah. But back to the Eagles' offense. They've been, they're running the ball very well. Corey Clement, Wendell Smallwood, and then you have the big guy LeGarrette Blount, who's just, he's just going crazy, making guys miss tackles. He's tough to bring down. That's the running back. He's like an SEC running back, like one of those big tough guys. The big guys that that's tough to bring down. Like a guy like Brandon Jacobs or Eddie Lacy. Like if Eddie, when you see Eddie Lacy at Alabama, I know he's a college player, but Nick Chubb, these running backs. I like it. The rough and the tough running backs. It's good. Derrick Henry, Bo Scarb. It's just a lot of guys. So yeah. It's so throwing the ball. Wentz. He was all right, but the fact, it was probably better than last week against the Giants. So there wasn't really that much offense. I feel like, but Elliott kicked a big three big field goals in the game. He's been, we can tell, he's in a little bit of a groove. Booting that long one from 54, 51 early in the game. So he's been kicking very well. And if I were, some of the Bengals guys right now, the Bengals coaches, I'd be like, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we thinking? But, so yeah. So that's my whole assessment on the Eagles Chargers. We will move through the week. Into, we'll talk about the Cardinals a little bit more. We'll talk about that game, which will be on Sunday, 1 o'clock on Fox. Now, let's talk about the NFC East a little bit. The Cowboys blew it. They lost to the Rams. Todd Gurley, with that one touchdown run. Nice to see the Cowboys lose. The Giants The Giants took the loss against Tampa Bay, and that's their year. The Giants, there's no way that they'll come back after that with the schedule they have and the way they're playing. They're done. And then the Redskins is tonight. So right now we're in the top of the division. You look the Cowboys who are 2-2, the Giants are 0-4, and then now, even if the Redskins win tonight, the Eagles will still be on top of the division because we do have the two divisional win lead plus the head-to-head match versus the Redskins, so we will still have the lead. But by it looks tonight, I don't see the Redskins winning that football game in Kansas City. I really don't. That's just a tough game. That is a tough game for them against that team in that place. So, and here's a fact. Last time they played a Monday Night Football game in Kansas City, they broke the sound record, and I think that was topped in the NFC Championship game back in 2014, 2013. I think 2013. I forget when the Seahawks played the 49ers. So, that's just a little fun fact. So that's my whole football thing. How about the Patriots going down? That was big. There's just a lot of surprises in the NFL. So, the Eagles, as an Eagles fan, you got to root for the Redskins to lose tonight. Chiefs to win just makes you look. If the Chiefs win, it just makes you look better. It really does. The way we played them, and the way we played them, the way we almost we had them by possession, and all that. So let's get it in. Let's talk about the Phillies. They ended their season yesterday, 11-0 against the Mets. That was it for the season. Can't believe the baseball season just came and gone. It's just another year. Another one of those years for the Phillies, a rebuilding season. But I think by that move that we saw on Friday, I think the Phillies are ready to turn on the Jets and compete. That listen, that tells you that they use McCannon to be a rebuilding manager to manage this team while they were in the rebuilding process. Now they're going to go out and get their manager who is going to take them to the playoffs. That's what I think they're doing. But, you looking through the season, you look through the records and the months and everything, the games. And, this was a shitty team. This was a shitty team till the month of August. It was tough. In April, it was all right to watch them. They were playing good. And when May hit, it was just terrible. June was dead bad. July was bad. Then we get into, after the All-Star break, they start to win a couple games here and there. You see Nick Williams come up. He started playing good ball. So you see him. He's playing pretty good. Then you move through the month of July. Phillies are, they're winning the game here and there. But, they're still bad. They're still losing a lot. Then we get into the second week of August where Rhys Hoskins makes his debut. He had a quiet, debut series against the Mets, but then he turned it on when they went to San Diego and he hit his first major league home run, his first two major league home runs in the first same night, if you guys recall. So, and then that's where that whole Rhys Hoskins thing started. So, you saw him, and that's what kind of lit this, that was the fire that lit this team. So, you have those two pieces to build around. You have Alfaro, who's very good. You have Nola in the rotation, who's good. You have a lot of guys Freddie Galvis, Cesar Hernandez, Aaron Altair, who had a very good end of the season, hitting that grand slam off Kershaw, putting that thing in the second deck. I don't think in left field, and like I said before, I don't think I've seen any more second deck shots this season in left field than any other season. It's just crazy. But it was one of the it was one of those years where it just turns to it was just terrible up until the last couple months. The last couple months for the Phillies, I think, were the best months. I mean, it was just very good months, very productive months. So yeah, so they're going to be looking for a manager. I want to see a lot more pieces put in the rotation. They're going to have to figure out, they're going to have to figure out the starting lineup. I will probably see, I think we'll hopefully see Kingery on the opening day roster. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hope for this team going forward. Plus, I mean, I think that's all that. I think what I said earlier about McCann is what that move told you on Friday, that they are going to be looking for a manager that will win them a division title or get them in the playoffs. And that manager like that Charlie Manuel, that the Dallas Green, guys that can guys that can deliver for you. And maybe it's Terry Collins, maybe it is. I wouldn't mind seeing Terry Collins here, but he's a we'll see where that goes. That's that. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad guy. I mean, he did all he could with the Mets in these last couple. I was just listening to one of the radio stations. He did all he could with the Mets in the last couple years, and they were just banged up. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for that, and yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Just a quickie. I got some homework to do. Pick tonight. I got Kansas City all day over the Redskins. So hopefully they can deliver. And then hopefully we'll be back tomorrow, talk a little bit more sports, talk about, the MLB playoffs start tomorrow. We'll talk about that. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.